What's good, YouTube? It's your boy D-Rib. Hey, today, we all know it is Royal Rumble season. So, look, we got 10 of the worst WWE Royal Rumble decisions ever made. So, I'm guessing 10 times that people didn't deserve to win. That's what I'm assuming. But look, first time come across the channel, make sure I go ahead and hit that thumbs up and subscribe because your boy is past 3K and we're going for 4K. So, make sure y'all please subscribe. I got a lot of videos on this channel, so please check them out. Hey, man. Who are y'all most excited for the Royal Rumble? We already know Cody's coming back because he announced it, so it's not a surprise anymore. So who are y'all most excited for to return or be there? And who do you think is going to win? I know a lot of y'all are going to say Cody, but I don't think Cody's going to win. But a lot of y'all think Cody, so I respect it. Everybody got their own opinions. But look, I personally think somebody like Bray Wyatt or Sami Zayn. Maybe I ain't gonna say Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens. I feel like Kevin Owens is gonna beat Roman at the Royal Rumble. That's just my opinion, though. I feel like Sami Zayn is gonna turn on the bloodline, help Kevin Owens win, and then that's gonna be a Sami Roman thing, you know. But look, that's just my opinion. But without further ado, though, let's get into this video.
The Royal Rumble pay-per-view is one of the most historic and decorated pay-per-views on WWE's calendar.
I'm very excited. Also, I will be live streaming the Royal Rumble live, and I will, if you're watching this as January 22nd, tomorrow is Raw 30. So if you're willing to watch Raw 30 with me, I will be live streaming tomorrow, Raw 30. So make sure I go ahead and check that out with me. I'm going to be watching Raw 30, and I'm also going to be watching the Royal Rumble live here on YouTube. So make sure y'all there. Alright, make sure y'all there. Hey man, let's get back into this.
1988, fans have eagerly anticipated the yearly event, and it usually promises suspense and surprises, but sometimes WWE's booking of the signature
Hopefully
event
Randy's back. Hopefully Randy's back.
Throughout the history of the event, WWE have made some questionable booking decisions.
He eliminated himself because of that snake.
It doesn't just relate to the Rumble match itself, as other matches on the Rumble card have controversial outcomes. Join us
hard.
10 of the most questionable. Be sure to subscribe. All WWE fans were talking about was Chris Jericho. Jericho has made his highly anticipated return to WWE in the weeks leading up to the event.
I wish he could
Jericho
return.
Had promised that at the Royal Rumble, fans would see the end of the world. Jericho was red hot, and it seemed a certainty that Jericho was going to win the 2012 Rumble and wrestle WWE Champion CM Punk at WrestleMania 28. However, Vince McMahon had other ideas, and Jericho would do extremely well in the Rumble itself, lasting until the final two, but the match was eventually won by Sheamus.
That's what's going to happen to Cody.
Sheamus was popular at this point in 2012, but a Rumble victory simply wasn't warranted or desired by fans. Therefore, upon Sheamus' victory, fans were left disappointed, and it was a huge missed opportunity by not having Jericho win the Rumble match for the first time in his decorated career. Number 9. Shane McMahon's elite booking. Shane McMahon made a surprise return at the 2022 Royal Rumble, but this return led to a ton of controversy. Shane would act as one of the agents of the match, and he booked himself incredibly strong, so much that Shane would last until the final four, and he would even eliminate fan favourites such as Kevin Owens. Shane's performance was lackluster, as he would botch several spots, including his own elimination at the hands of Brock Lesnar. This strong presentation of Shane received widespread criticism from fans and even fellow WWE talent, and it actually led to Vince McMahon cutting ties with Shane and firing him from WWE indefinitely.
Bro, imagine getting fired by your dad, bro. You know how much you had to mess up for you to get fired by your own dad? That's tough.
To surface that the booking of the prodigal son could have been way worse, as Shane had made some downright bizarre pitches for the match, and most of them centered on him being the star of the entire match. Number 8. Ronda Rousey returns. Speaking of the 2022 Royal Rumble, it wasn't just Shane McMahon's booking that was loathed by fans, as Ronda Rousey's return was also questioned. Rousey would make her grand return in the Women's Rumble match and ended up winning the entire thing. Rousey's performance in the match was criticized, as Rousey was botching basic moves, and it began to look like Rousey didn't even want to be there. Fans were also confused as to whether or not they
Rhea Ripley's going to win the women's one.
were supposed to boo or cheer her. Rousey left WWE as a heel, but the commentators and her conduct in the match presented her as a babyface.
Pat McAfee is going to be in a Royal Rumble. I feel it.
A return of the match ultimately fell flat, and when it surfaced that Rousey would be facing Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 38, fan excitement for the biggest show of the year drastically plummeted. Number 7, Vince McMahon wins the Royal Rumble.
Huh?
The Attitude Era was an exciting time to be a wrestling fan, and you would assume that WWE would go all out during the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. The 1999 edition of the match centered around the ongoing saga between Vince McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and McMahon would end up winning the whole thing in a shock surprise. Whilst this was a great catalyst for the next chapter in the rivalry, a non-wrestler winning one of the biggest matches of the year was an utter waste. WWE had clear, concrete plans for WrestleMania 15 to be main evented by The Rock and Stone Cold, but the WWE wanted to throw another barrier in Austin's way. Was this really the most appropriate way to do it? Number 6, the 2006 main event.
I don't know how I feel about Vince winning the Rumble. I could kind of see what he's saying. An obstacle for Stone Cold. But Vince highlighting WrestleMania? I don't know.
Rey Mysterio winning the 2006 Royal Rumble is one of the most iconic Rumble moments of all time. It began Mysterio's push into the main event scene, and this Rumble win will culminate when he would win the world title at WrestleMania 22. Whilst it was virtually impossible to criticize his booking move, what fans were all in agreement on was that they should have closed out the show. Instead of Mysterio's major win closing out the pay-per-view, WWE decided to book the Mark Henry vs. Kurt Angle World title match as the main event.
Why?
This was an unusual decision and the match was rather lackluster. The only reason they wanted to have the
Why? Oh, he's about to say why. Let me be quiet.
This was an unusual decision and the match was rather lackluster. The only reason they wanted to have the match on last was that it was to feature The Undertaker destroying the ring, but this didn't remotely warrant the main event slot on one of the illustrious shows of the year. Number 5.
They missed out on that opportunity for Undertaker to destroy the ring. Really? 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 I love Undertaker. They could have saved that for the Monday after the Royal Rumble. They could have saved that for another time. It didn't have to be right then and there. They literally just ruined Rey Mysterio's moment. They could have let people go home happy. But instead, they wanted to do that. I'm sure people probably still went home happy, but look, y'all were just ruined Rey's moment. I didn't know that happened. I didn't know it happened after the Royal Rumble. I just know what his part. I remember Rey's part, but that's petty, bro. That's petty. That's
Roman
childish.
Reigns wins the
Why would they do that?
2015 Rumble. Now, in terms of worst Royal Rumble matches, the 2015 edition of the match is up there with the very worst. The match was a perfect example of how not to book the match, as all WWE were focused on was getting Roman Reigns over.
I think Goldust is gonna return as with Cody, and they're gonna work together.
Booked atrociously, as stars such as The Big Show and Kane would eliminate fan favorites such as Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose. This completely deflated the crowd, and combined with the early elimination of Daniel Bryan, the crowd simply wanted nothing to do with the match. When Roman Reigns eventually won, the crowd outright rejected this win, and the majority of the blame would fall on Reigns. This would unfortunately heavily damage his relationship with the fan base for years to come. Even when The Rock would make a surprise return to save Reigns from a beatdown during the match's climax, the crowd would even boo The Rock, which reportedly made The Rock furious as he was fully aware that WWE had booked the match in an incompetent manner. Number 4, the Hardy Boys break up. One of the biggest storylines heading into the 2009 Royal Rumble was centered on the WWE
Bro, this made me
champion
sad,
Jeff Hardy.
bro.
A mystery
Y'all
man was
already know
making
Jeff was
Jeff's
my
life
favorite.
hell for months, and this included notable incidents such as Jeff being attacked before the 2008 Survivor Series and Jeff being involved in a car accident. Jeff would defend his title against Edge at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, and in shocking fashion, Matt Hardy would turn on Jeff, allowing Edge to recapture the championship.
I remember that, man.
This was a controversial booking move, as a fan desire to see the two Hardy Boys feud was simply not there, as fans had always preferred them as a duo. Extra criticism was directed at the decision to have Jeff drop the title just 1 month after winning it, as fans expected Jeff to walk into WrestleMania 25 as WWE Champion, but WWE had other ideas. The angle made little sense, as WWE struggled to justify why Matt had turned on his brother, and the main reason that the storyline made no sense was
I was
because
so
Matt
sad,
originally
bro.
wasn't supposed to
Oh
be
my
the one
gosh, I was
responsible
sad.
for Jeff's accident. Instead, it was supposed to be a returning Christian, Upon these creative plans leaking online, WWE cancelled the idea and opted to have Christian return on a random episode of ECW. Talk about disappointing. Number 3, The Rock ends CM Punk's title reign. The Rock vs John Cena at WrestleMania 28 was a dream match that truly delivered and was a major financial success for WWE. However, when it surfaced that WWE planned on doing a rematch at WrestleMania 29, fans instantly questioned what WWE were thinking. The WrestleMania 28 encounter
Vince wanted his money. That's what it was. Vince said, "Ooh, we made almost 200 mil. We gonna do it again, but this time we gonna let somebody else win." That's what he did. He said, "We're going for more money." Do y'all want Roman to fight The Rock at WrestleMania this year since it's in Hollywood? That's what a lot of people seem to want, which it will work money wise. It would definitely it would be very, 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 very up there in money. But I don't know. I don't know if it would be a good match though.
And fans instantly questioned what WWE were thinking. The WrestleMania 28 encounter was endlessly marketed as once-in-a-lifetime encounter, and for WWE to once again book the match was an insult to the fans. When it transpired that WWE wanted the match to be for the title, fans were furious, as CM Punk was in the midst of a legendary run as WWE Champion, and not a single fan wanted this to come to an end. Punk would face The Rock at the 2013 Royal Rumble, and the WWE had The Rock defeat Punk, ending his 434-day reign as champion. If WWE were insisting on booking The Rock vs Cena Part 2, it simply didn't need the championship. This booking move was criticized by fans, and Punk has even spoken at length about how hurt he was by dropping the title just before WrestleMania 29. It's certainly a booking decision that has aged terribly, and this was a creative vision that WWE should have never followed through on. Number 2, Edge's short title reign. Edge winning the WWE title for the first time in his career at the start of 2006 was a legendary moment.
I definitely remember
Edge would cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase at the New Year's Revolution pay-per-view to defeat Cena for the title. When a rematch between Edge and Cena was announced for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, fans assumed that this was just a standard rematch which would see Edge get a decisive win over Cena. Sadly, WWE had other ideas, as Edge's WWE title reign would come to an end just after 3 weeks, as he was defeated clean by John Cena. This was a downright awful decision, as Edge had the star power and popularity to walk into WrestleMania 22 as WWE Champion, but WWE wanted their biggest show.
Edge is one of the greatest heels ever. He's one of the greatest heels ever. Him, Randy. I mean, there's a couple other ones up there, but him and Randy, at least from my generation, are the top 2 heels. But like I said, that's from my generation, because that's what I grew up watching. I'm not talking the 90s. I'm talking the 2000s. So I say about 2000s, early 2000s, all the way up to about 2012. Yeah, Edge and Randy.
The year to be headlined by Cena vs Triple H. And number 1, Batista wins the 2014 Royal Rumble. The 2014 Royal Rumble is infamous in the eyes of WWE fans. The match saw the crowd heckle and turn on virtually every wrestler in the match, as WWE outright refused to book fan favorite Daniel Bryan in the match. The winner of the match, Batista, was supposed to be the biggest babyface in the match, but even he was heavily booed, and it was clear that Batista's run as a babyface simply wasn't going to work. This match was also notable for the last appearance of CM Punk, as Punk would notoriously walk out of the WWE the very next night, as there was a ton of issues in the match itself, including Punk taking numerous bumps with an established concussion. The match was a true disaster and was a clear sign that WWE at this point in 2014 were out of touch on what terms the fans actually wanted to see. But there you have it, folks. 10 of the most questionable Royal Rumble.
Well, what y'all think? Like I said, who do y'all think is going to win the Rumble this year? And who are y'all most excited about returning? Well, let me know what y'all think. I got a lot of ideas of who might return, or a lot of people I want to return, but I'll say that for another time. But hey, man, like this video, subscribe if you're new. It's your boy D-Rib, man. I'm out.